Okay.
Wait, where did Jason go?
What? Oh,
Did we lose Jason?
Oh no.
Oh boy, he clicked the wrong button. Old
Jason.
guys
Right.
clicking.
Hey,
Old
here-
guys clicking buttons.
There's the
What did you
theory.
do?
What are you doing?
What did you do?
Hello again. Welcome back for another episode of Old Guys Playing Games. It's been a while since we were on. We had some life issues, health issues, social issues, life issues. I said life issues, but there were two of them. So we'll go ahead and get started. Let's talk about, let's see, we've got a few things we want to talk about. We tried some new games. We tried Far Cry 5. We've tried Matchpoint. We tried Overcooked 2 and Fall Guys. And of course, we played some Call of Duty. And yes, that's the sad trombone. And we've got some other stuff.
The Call of Duty vibe has been very, we'll just say very low for some of the members of the Old Guys Playing Games.
Everyone
I'll
except
admit
you.
to it.
Which I get. It makes
I'll go ahead and I'll start it off. I'll start
Kick it off.
Call of Duty.
Ken.
Call of Duty Season 4 came out, and we talked about it a little bit before with the Mercenaries of Fortune event that was 2 weeks long, and it had a new map, Fortune's Keep. I like the new map, and I like the Warzone aspect of the game, but I am getting extremely bored with the multiplayer.
Me too.
Doesn't have any new thing to draw me in. It just seems to be very, very repetitive. And I haven't seen any new maps. I understand there's supposed to be a new multiplayer map called USS Texas 1945, some battleship, but I haven't seen it.
We played that map
we've
for
all
a couple
done it.
weeks.
It's the same. You've played it before. It was in I believe it was Modern Warfare.
I don't remember it, but I thought you played that with us.
We
Ken.
definitely
Sure.
played it.
All right, we're playing that. We're done.
No, well, maybe. But it's getting boring for me.
Wait, we're playing Far Cry? What?
It's
I'm
getting
going to
really
see
boring
Thor,
for me.
so I'm not playing.
Call of Duty multiplayer is really, really boring for me. I played it with you guys today, mainly because you guys were excited about playing it, and I wanted to be online with you guys. And I obviously you could tell by my demeanor that I just wasn't having fun, and that's fine. I enjoy being online with you guys and hearing you guys banter, but as far as the game itself, it is not a go-to for me anymore. I don't pick it up and get online. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I will say, so we did notice your disheartenedness today. It upset both Josh and I because we wanted.
I would venture to say it was disdain more than disheartening.
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't think it was just. I think it was just Ken wasn't Ken. He wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't. I mean, we played domination, and if Ken doesn't get excited about domination, something's up. So,
I played with Ken earlier. We played a different game, and Ken was. I know, but I'm not going to mention the game. But Ken was different.
We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute.
I'm not mentioning the game. I'm just saying Ken was different.
And that's what Ken's
stop
saying.
opening boxes. All right.
Get back in the Jeep. Get back in the Jeep. No, I was just going to say, I do think that your point around the new resurgence, we really liked that, and you liked it, and it was a different game. And that was one where I think, and to your point,
again,
I view
that's
that as
Warzone, right? I was having more fun with Warzone.
Yeah. No, I know, and I think that was my point. Was I saw your excitement in that one, and I did not sense your excitement today.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. It can get repetitive, even for me, but I still I don't know. It's like a competition thing. It's still there.
It's a great release.
I get real competition, and it's exactly. And this is part of a point that I have later in the show notes. But it is like you drop in, you immediately get action, you get some competitive juices going, and I still like it. I much prefer Cold War now that we've been playing that more frequently than Vanguard. I think Vanguard, we've talked about that enough that we don't think it's the best installment. But I get it, Ken. I mean, it's not for everyone. It makes sense. So
well, I'm hoping.
I appreciate you jumping in with us. That was very nice of you.
I am hopeful that Modern Warfare 2, which I have not pre-ordered yet, I am hopeful that it has enough quote newness that it's going to make me excited for the title again. For the multiplayer aspect of it, I do want to see what this new open world co-op type thing they're bringing in, but I haven't seen any footage. I haven't read anything about it at all. Just so I think I need to wait and see type thing.
I think they know they're hanging on a thread here, right? I don't think this is news to them. I think they understand where they are, and so for the Activision folks out there, if you want to get the old guys continue playing your games, you may want to reach out to these creators. And you might want to get us in there early so we can tell the team and everybody out there whether this is worth buying or not. We're hoping it is. We have faith in you, but you've let us down recently. So we don't know what we're going to get. We don't know what we're going to
get. Get it on the Kanban board. Get the OGPG on the Kanban board.
I do think you have something with the whole, like, we've done 2 years of mostly multiplayer with some Warzone and a tiny sliver of a co-op sort of stuff, which we had a blast with, but there was certainly not enough of those missions. And so I do think it's time. This is my own reflection. I feel like Ken and I playing that other game, which we'll talk about later today, brought me back to that time of like, okay, we've got a strategy. We're going to team up. You're going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I've been totally missing that. The closest thing to it is the Warzone missions, whatever there are. And that's still too close to the multiplayer, which is we're going to go to an area and basically people are just going to run around and loot and then shoot stuff. And it gets into multiplayer again. I'm just personally sort of done with that. Like the quick jump in, I can do it every once in a while, but I think I'm ready for something completely different. And maybe it's time for us to go our separate ways. Maybe it is the squad, like if we don't
we all knew Jason would jump out first.
Well, I'm just saying, like I don't mind jumping in every once in a while to a Vanguard or a Cold War. I agree, Cold War is much better. But to me, if I'm going to play, if I have like the limited time I have to play, I'm going to play stuff that's closer to the strategy and co-op side of things than just the run and gun multiplayer.
Well, that makes me sad because for me to just sit and play on my own, I mean, it's fun. It gets it going. But this morning I texted you guys and said, hey, look, I need to jump on. I need some friendship. Right. That was important to me. Can you guys jump and play multiplayer? That makes me sad, right? I mean, that's the whole point, that we got together. It's the whole point we're doing this. So we got to figure this out. This is a critical time.
He doesn't speak for all of us. Okay. I think I agree. I think we do need to figure out. There is no other game that has caught us as a team. The nice thing about the Call of Duty franchise is there are multiple ways to play and stay within a franchise. That's nice. No other game has multiple ways to play in look, and Call of Duty has its issues, but where you can say, oh, let's hop over here, and then let's hop over here, and then let's hop over here. It's pretty much this or this, right? And I think we still haven't found a game that satisfies both. Like, for example, you guys know I like that other game. We won't talk about the World War II one. But what I saw with things like some of the games that aren't on Xbox, like Postscriptum and Squad, and some of those games, I think we would like, but those are PC games. And because they're PC games, they're not in the only one that came over was Hell Let Loose, and it's only the full-long strategic, and all they have is defensive and offensive, and there's really not if I just want to go shoot each other in a Rumble match, that doesn't exist, right? And that sort of sucks. I want an arcade version too, and there's nothing that has all that. And so, Jason, I think we got to find something. Like I don't know if I have the patience anymore for the pick up the shovel, read the notes stuff anymore. I don't. I'm probably in between you and Josh on this, whereas Josh just wants to get in and just start going, and you really want to be immersed. I'm probably.
But the Modern Warfare, I think, is the co-op missions in Modern Warfare where all four of us could play a mission, right? It had a good combo of the stuff, and you're playing AI.
So there's a balance there. So, obviously we're old guys, we have lives outside of this. And if we only have about 20, 30 minutes to play, chances are we're just going to go in there and play some multiplayer, get together, talk to each other, joke around, and play a little multiplayer. However, if we do have a good solid hour or so to play, I would also prefer to do a mission based where we are tactical and we are a team moving along together doing something more of like closer to Warzone, but more into the spec ops that what we had in the previous iterations of Call of Duty.
Yeah, I agree. But we don't have. I mean, I think back to the old Splinter Cell days,
yes,
and those kind of things. Right? We don't have anything that good anymore. It just doesn't seem like, right?
Yeah, they're not publishing games that are meant for tactical co-op for the console. I mean, they're totally getting sucked into this Fortnite type mentality and how the games, because those are extremely popular with the right group of people. You know, the majority of their players are probably that age group. You know, 18 to
and they make money, right?
This is the topic that I had written down, right? Which is, has multiplayer instant gratification affected the appetite for linear gameplay? Because I remember I used to love playing these games, right? Where it was Metal Gear, whether it was Splinter Cell, whether it was I can't think of others, but similar game types to that. And now that we have this multiplayer thing, I don't know. I've kind of fallen into this trap, and it. You know, I was thinking about it too. It's almost like Netflix to me lately, where I get on there and there's so much stuff that I can't engage with anything. So I'll put on Seinfeld. I just don't want to get invested in something else, and that's. I feel like when I played the game we're going to talk about, I enjoyed it. It was fun, but I found myself. It was difficult for me to really jump in and engage. And I don't know if it was the story or I don't know.
Does the world of Warzone multiplayer now revolve around the store? In other words, like, has the store and the buying of stuff and all of that stuff, has that sort of dictated the way the game works? In other words, do they try to push you to buy more things and more whatever? And is that changing the... So, like, I mean, that's a short attention span type of nature, right, Josh?
Yeah,
the idea of daily challenges and all that.
It's also this, and I think it came from Fortnite with this season thing. Like, we're going to keep the engine, the gameplay, the entire thing. We're going to maybe drop in a few maps, but then we're going to have seasons. We're going to throw in Godzilla and frickin' King Kong, and we're going to get excited for a few days. That wears off quickly, and then you're back to like, let's go play the old maps again. And then you get excited about the next season where you're going to get excited for a couple days and it's going to wear off. Like, I do think you have something there, Josh. And these games were designed for the younger generation, which loves, and they go nuts over these different things you can buy and earn. But that shit fades quick until like we want something that has a little bit more depth to it. And that's, I'm praying that this next Modern Warfare gives us what we're all looking for, a combo, because I don't mind playing multiplayer, but I do want the more strategic co-op stuff.
I hear you.
Yeah, so I tend to agree with you. I the Battle Pass, it does wear off very quickly. But the one thing I do like that the Battle Pass does is it forces the developers to create diversity in the product. I like when they bring new maps in. I like when they add changes to the game. You know, although they don't last long. I think 2 weeks is almost too short, especially for an old guy gamer like myself who doesn't have, you know, all day long during the summers to play like some of the kids. You know, but I do like that they are adding DLC. DLC has been something that has been huge for console gaming. It has been there for a long time for PC gaming, but the downloadable content for consoles has been fantastic. The problem is when they started to make them a purchase, because not everybody was going to spend a ton of money on a game to get a new map or get a new character or whatever else. So I do like that the way Warzone and Call of Duty, once you've purchased the product, that they periodically during these seasons, they do add new maps, they do add new game types, functionality. I like that aspect, but this whole purchased Battle Pass thing and going up the 100 tiers and it's I think it's run its course. I think it's time for us to kind of take a look at a different way to approach games this way.
Agreed.
Do you think we're going to get excited about this going to it? Stu, you made me think when you said that, like, Call of Duty we love because it's the same like storyline or group of characters, and then there's different game types. Halo with the co-op missions coming up soon. that could be interesting to us. The multiplayer was not exciting to any of us. Like we played 1 or 2 games and we were like, okay, let's go back to Call of Duty. But maybe the co-op missions in Halo will be something we get excited about. What do you guys think?
Maybe. I don't know. Halo.
I don't think we spent enough time in Halo. I feel like.
I'm excited about it because the from what I've read, it follows the way like Halo 3 and subsequent Halos since then they've been able to have a 4-player cooperative campaign. So you can actually go through the entire story with your friends, covering each other, backing each other up. You're not going against other humans, you're going against AI, but you're following the story and you're solving these puzzles, solving these missions as a team. And I'm really excited about that I'm hopeful that they don't screw it up. Now, I know, Stuart, you're not a huge fan of the futuristic combat, the Halo, the science fiction type thing in gaming. But I think it's going to be enough of the teamwork and doing it with friends. I think is going to really, really draw you in. I think we're all going to have. Yeah. I'm really hopeful trying to blast with it.
I don't hate it. I just I can't I don't get all the time. There's so many weird guns. I can understand a submachine gun versus an assault gun versus a light machine gun or a shotgun, right? So when you start, I pick up this one, is this one better than the one I just dropped? And then I shoot somebody 15 times and nothing happens, and I'm like,
right.
What just happened?
There's a lot of trial and error, especially. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not a big gun guy like you are, so you know in Call of Duty, because they use realistic weapons, you're familiar with what the weapons are. I'm not necessarily familiar with what they are, so I pick one up and I'm not really sure. So it's going to be a similar learning curve, I would expect.
Okay, cool. Well, I would look forward to trying. I mean, anything co-op we can do together always makes life better with my buddies.
Agreed.
Even if Jason doesn't play with us.
Whoa. It says it's coming out this week. Do you guys know it's coming out this week?
Are you sure?
Halo co-op?
Or is it like a beta?
Article. Maybe it's the beta that comes out this week. Let me send you the link. I'll put it in the chat.
Well, just to talk about Call of Duty real quick, Modern Warfare 2 is available for pre-order, releasing October 28th. There's 3 levels, I think. One is Vault Edition, which is the top tier for $100, and then they have the standard version, which is $70, and then a cross-gen version, which is $70. I don't know why anybody would buy the cross-gen version. Cross-gen version allows you to play it on either Xbox One and or Xbox Series X. So I guess it's people that are maybe knowing they're going to be getting an X for Christmas or something. They buy this now, and then they'll be able to play it with.
Does it include PC?
It does not.
Because that I might do, right?
Too. I don't know. Yeah.
If it included PC, then I could play it on the road, right? So that would be the one thing for me. When I think cross-gen, I'm thinking cross-platform. But maybe your point is cross-gen is cross-gen, right?
Correct.
Which would make sense if it was called cross-gen.
Ken, are you in the Insider program? That's how you get to play the beta.
I am not in the Halo Insider program. I think I'm in the Xbox Insider program.
That's what you have to be in.
I wonder if we all sign up, if we'll be able to get in there and.
It's the Xbox Insider program.
Really?
I think we're all in that, aren't we?
Well, we will be before the end of the day. And then see if we get into the co-op beta next week.
Eagerly await the instructions to do that, Ken.
It says go to the Halo Insider homepage.
All right, we'll take a break real quick, and then we will come back and talk about some different games other than Call of Duty. And we're back. All right, so we've got a couple other things that I think that worth talking about. I'm going to let Stuart tell us about the game that he introduced us to a few weeks ago.
Are we talking about Overcooked?
We are talking about Overcooked.
I love this game, and I think we need to get back to it. It was a blast. Josh is the one that you heard the derision, but this is great.
There was no derision. It's not my favorite, but I was thinking earlier, why did we only play it once?
Yeah, because we
only played it once.
We had so much fun with Jason. We had so much fun playing it that Jason's daughters recorded him playing it. It was so funny. So this is a really cool game. We talked a little bit about this, but it is. I think we played Overcooked too, but it's a game where you have to work together. You're like in a little kitchen. and everybody, someone's got to wash dishes, someone's got to plate up, someone's got to chop, someone's got to get the vegetables from the bin or whatever. And it sounds like, but then the puzzles change. You're on a balloon, or you're on things move around, or it shakes around. And it's fun because you have to, it's co-op. You have to work together. Jason's yelling, where are my plates? And then we have to figure, okay, someone does plates, someone does this, someone cuts sushi, someone does. It was a fun, like aperitif, shall we say, from the normal stuff that we do. It cleansed the palate. And it's the kind of thing we should do every once in a while.
I like what you did there. What you did there.
It's the kind of thing we should do more often, because and the other game that I think we played was, I can't remember the name of it, the one with the little, I'm not gonna say what I thought they were, but those little knobbly guys.
Fall Guys,
yes.
Stealing my thunder, Stuart.
Oh, sorry. So I'll stop here in a second. So Overcooked is a fun game. I thought it was fun as a team. And I think we never got to, it was getting hard on us. Let's be honest. We're those old guys. It was starting to get a little tricky when the balloon.
I really, really enjoyed this game.
I did too.
But it is it is the absolute least efficient setup of a kitchen I've ever seen in my life. The way they do that because that's part of the puzzle, I'm assuming. But the where things need to be cooked, where you get the ingredients and all that stuff, it is so hectic. But that's what makes it so much fun. And we end up yelling at each other, but it's so hysterical. Your belly laughing, your stomach hurts from laughing. It's so much fun. And I really, really recommend people play this game, especially with family or with friends. It's a lot more fun when you have a group together. It's almost like a party game.
Agreed.
I think I really liked the one where I think it was Stu and I on one side, and Jason and Ken on the other, and I forget what it was. Like you had to toss stuff over to us, and
that's right.
Like it wasn't so chaotic, but like when we were in that, remember the one with the balloon, the hot air balloon?
Yes.
Where like there's fire everywhere, and you got to get a fire extinguisher.
That's
and
right.
Then the balloon falls.
That's
like,
right.
I
remember the two platforms going down the river. And you had to throw food across the river.
That's what I'm talking about. Yep.
And somebody was just having the worst time trying to throw food. They would always fall in the river, and it was just so comical.
Jason, so that's cool. Probably Jason.
Excellent. Well, we're going to play that more. I really want to get back to playing that. That was so much fun. Josh invited us to play a game. He introduced us to this game. It was a Apple only game. Is that right, Josh?
No, actually, it was PlayStation.
Okay.
It might have been mobile too, but that's where I was introduced to it by my children. It's called Fall Guys. It's fantastic. I love it. I don't think the group necessarily loved it, but that's okay.
I love it, listener.
And I think so. What it is, it's like this. It's basically a race, and there are these little minion-y type things that you run around. There's no sprinting. Everyone runs the same speed. And I think the only like tactical thing you can do is jump, not even jump. It's like leap forward. And sometimes you need that to get across something or whatever. But it's a really, the courses are really inventive. It's very colorful. It's very like silly, but there's an element of competition to it, which we all know that I love. So I like to have, I want to get to the end of the race, and you start out with, it's probably 60, 50 people, and then you slowly narrow it down, I think, to 7 in the last event. And then it's a free-for-all. Whoever the last person standing wins the I forget what they call it, race or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I've come in third. I've never been able to win because it's not easy, but I love it. I mean, I do it myself because I know it was rough when we 4 tried to play as I forget what the modes are, but there's one mode where you're a squad.
Yeah.
Where you all have to, I think you all have to qualify or you're out. And then
I think that one was
at least one has to qualify.
Yeah, one player has to qualify for the team to move on. Okay. But the solos was really painful because if you were out, you sat there and watched your friends play.
Yeah, which I think I get why that one's no good for the 4 of us. But I think the mazes or courses were different on the squad one. and I feel like they're a little more difficult. But we should try that again, like Overcooked. I would be down for that. But that's a game. It scratches my Call of Duty itch a little bit because I get the competition and it's not as intense. It's just kind of silly and light. So, I enjoy that. I actually played it. The kids and I played it, or my daughter and I played it yesterday.
So all the other players are live humans. There's no AI in this, which is really cool because there's no smack talk. There's no talking anyway, but it's the competitive nature and I love the obstacle course feature of it. I love that. It just cracks me up. And the different rounds have different type. Like there's one Survivor where you have to stay on this platform that keeps moving and you have to survive while things get thrown at you and try to knock you off.
Right. Or there's a propeller spinning one way and then another one spinning the other way. What I love is sometimes you can get a little fun where like at the end of the race, you could block people from trying to get across. And it's like it's a testy thing because let's say you only 20 qualify and it's like around 16, you could sit there and screw around with people, but then you could get stuck and not qualify.
It reminds me of the American Gladiators with the guys with the pugil sticks at the very end when you're trying to get past the finish line. They're sort of beating you down. It cracks me up. Yeah, that game was very, very fun. I'm glad that they finally released it for Xbox.
Oh man, I was waiting for that.
Yeah, because there were some alternative versions of games, Human Fall Flat and Gang Beasts and stuff like that were trying to do what Fall Guys had done, but Fall Guys is by far the superior version of this type of game, and it's really well done. So
yeah, I love it.
All right, Jason.
We need to have an Overcooked and Fall Guys session. Hour.
I agree.
I think that'd be a nice amuse-bouche after this.
Amuse-bouche. I agree.
Whatever that means.
All right, Jason. We got another half hour, so let's go ahead and start talking about the game that you introduced us to a couple days ago.
And I'm fully aware that it's best if I just never give game recommendations. That's going to be my new thing because inevitably you guys are not going to like it. So I'm gonna stay away.
Isn't that like
Jason?
Is that what gaslighting?
Can we not do this self-loathing thing here?
Hold on.
No, we're all playing the game. We're all playing the game. We're all playing the game.
And we all liked it.
Yes, we all did like it.
No,
tell us what it is, Jason. Then
are we allowed? I'm sorry.
Jason.
Before Jason tells us about the game and how excited he gets. By the way, he was excited about Halo as well. Are we not allowed to be critical, or do we have to completely love it?
Honest. We got to be honest.
Okay, well, I'm honest.
Critical, but I don't want to be told like I didn't like it. That's not true. I did enjoy it.
Yes, as did I. So, Jason, why don't you tell us? Get us excited about why you love it, and then let's figure out.
I don't even know if I have enough energy for that. I'm just going to enjoy the game myself. Far Cry. I've never played a Far Cry series before, so I saw that it was on Game Pass. So I said, I'll try this thing because I was looking for a new game. To our earlier point of just I'm done with. I'm currently in a slump with Call of Duty, so I decided to play, among other things. I played this Far Cry game. I played Just Cause 2, but that wasn't as fun. But Far Cry, and I know nothing about previous editions, so don't hate me for that. But this edition happens to follow the trials and tribulations of a rookie cop who gets caught up in this. They're trying to go. Well, he along with a marshal and the FBI go in to try to infiltrate, or not really infiltrate, but arrest the cult leader, this religious cult in the mountains of Montana. And I guess as the story unfolds, you find out that he and his brothers and sisters all own different parts of the cult in these different valleys and parts of the wilderness. And everyone else, so I'm not going to ruin the story, but this rookie gets caught up and then has to survive and has to do these missions. And the thing I love about it, outside of just it's a great story and you do get to fly and drive all kinds of different vehicles, use all different kinds of weapons, do these little side missions, but you can do a co-op mode. And so Ken and I tried it this morning. I'd played probably for a couple hours yesterday, and then Ken and I jumped into co-op mode I literally was going to jump on for 30 minutes because then I was going to go see Thor. And all of a sudden I realized I had like 5 minutes to get to the movie because I was so caught up. Ken was just about to fly the float plane,
seaplane,
because we were getting chased down. And long story short, it's just it's one of those games I can just get totally immersed in, and I like, it's like a playable movie to some extent. So I'm having fun with it, and I'm sure when Ken and I just want to play that sort of game, it's perfect for that. I'm not sure. I can't see.
Why can we not comment?
Let's have a conversation about it. I played it yesterday for at least 45 minutes,
and
on the campaign or whatever we're calling it, story mode, and I liked it.
Okay.
I thought it was good. It reminded, the graphics are insane. Like, it's a lot of fun. And the thing that bums me out is the duo, or the co-op mode is duo, it sounds like, which we can't all four play.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks.
It does.
But I'm definitely going to keep playing it. You know?
I much to the opinion that my friend Jason has of my opinion of it, I think a couple things. I do think
you made a comment about you're done like finding garden hose and baseball bats.
I said two things. I think the cutscenes are way too long.
At the start, they are. I admit,
and that's where I am right now.
When you're done with that,
I did find a float plane to the whatever camp of the whatever inbred sister or whatever. But what I'm worried about is that I dropped my pipe wrench and I picked up a shovel, and then it's going to go, oh, do you have a pipe wrench? And if that happens, I'm going to go.
None of that.
And I know, but that's the thing. Well, then why have it, right? Then why have it? So
because there's all kinds of shops and different places to get stuff. So
I'm having Zork flashbacks.
No, there's not, because I hate that too. There's nothing worse than that situation that Stu just referred to. And game makers out there, if you do that crap, like, it's good for the kids, like Ken said, that have nothing to do during the summer but play video games for 12 hours. But for those of us that jump in and want to finish a game maybe over the course of 3 or 4 weeks, don't do that crap where you're going to drop like this one thing, and if you dropped it along the way in the forest somewhere, you're never going to get it back. Stop. That's nonsensical. The good thing I've seen thus far is there's none of that. You can actually make it to the next steps of the mission with the stuff that you've got or have found recently. I think they're really good at that.
Yeah.
What's funny is I was playing the campaign, right, and there's this one part where you have to break through a board in order to get to some key or something, and I don't know what was wrong with me. I couldn't figure that out. Like, I kept walking around and it kept telling me to go back there, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I've just been like spoiled or tainted. I was trying to run, like hit the wall, and then I was like, wait a minute, I have a pipe or something. Let me try to hit that. And I hit it and it broke the board. I'm like, okay, it's a real world type thing, you idiot.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I liked it. It was cool.
Yeah. So
I have a question.
I agree with you, Stuart. The very beginning of the game, there's a very, very long tutorial, and you don't really realize it's a tutorial, which is good. But with all the cutscenes telling the story and the lead up into the point where you can actually play co-op, you have to do so much. But it's trying to explain to you all the different features of the game in the very beginning. And it's very, very long, and they even admit to it in some of the reviews I've seen. People have said, look, that's very long, but once you get through that, you can go into co-op and not have to sit and constantly ask the guy questions that you're playing with on how do I do. So I agree with you, and I don't usually like games like that. I used to love games like that. I used to play them all the time, Assassin's Creed and Tomb Raider and stuff like that. I used to love those. I've fallen out of favor with those, though, recently. Maybe it's the time I have to play. But this does a really good job of telling the story while you are doing these little things to help you familiarize yourself with the game. But fortunately, Jason and I had reached about the same point in the game to where I was able to just drop into his game. He was playing, and then I just show up, and he couldn't understand why he couldn't kill this character. It was because it was me. I was standing in front of him. So that drop in, drop out feature of the game, once you reach that point, is very quick. And I foresee a very Call of Duty-esque type mentality to where you can go in there and play for 30 minutes and
was
jump
that
out.
in the main storyline?
Yeah,
Like you could continue the story.
Yeah, I'm
together.
And what's really cool is, so I'm like saving these people in this warehouse, and I'm shooting all these guys that have the red indicator on top of them. All of a sudden, this guy with the blue indicator shows up, and I couldn't kill him. And you hear the enemies invincible. Talking at the same volume level as Ken started to talk. So I thought like Ken talking was part of the game, and then I realized, holy crap, like that's Ken. He's in my game with me, and he had dropped in. So then we played for a while. I had to leave to go to the movie. And then when I came back, Ken, I was in the airplane. You weren't in there with me anymore, but I was in the airplane right where you had stopped, where I dropped out of the game. So I just think that's super cool. And
that is cool. Like, I wish we all four could jump in. That would be pretty cool.
When we were playing this, the whole time I was playing this with Jason, I was thinking to myself, oh my God, this would be so much fun with 4 people.
Why why can't they do that, you think? There's just too intense for the game engine or something?
Okay, so I was reading a little bit about the Halo, and I think that part of this lends itself to the same problem that Far Cry has. There's so much, when you have an open world like that, there's so much data, okay? So much information. But when you play it by yourself, all it cares about is what's within your range. Okay, so it doesn't have to worry about rendering anything over there or telling about details about things past your range. But if you have 2 players, what they end up doing is they force you to stay closer together. Like if we were to try to split up, I couldn't go to the South Valley while you stayed in the North Valley. It wouldn't let us do that. So it keeps us close together. And I have a feeling that the more and more people you add, the harder that becomes and the more restrictive the game has to be. But this is just all speculation based on what I've read on what the problems that they were having with Halo.
But what if you and I were in one valley and then Josh and Stu joined their game together in another, and we had walkie-talkies, and so we could be cooperating to solve a mission, but they're in different parts of the game? Maybe that is the next level of this.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. They would have to have some kind of link between them, whether it's just a vocal voice chat type link, because then you could have, like, you'd be playing on 2 different servers. You and I could be on one server and they could be on a totally different server. And the only thing that they have to maintain between us is the voice chat, because of the walkie-talkie type stuff. And I think that's a great idea.
Well, I kept thinking about the game engine, Josh, like, because I know you were frustrated because I was frustrated. Like, once you get a weapon, a good automatic weapon, and you've got a bunch of enemies coming your way. Luckily, I'm playing probably at the lowest level of complexity. But imagine if it was tougher. There's no way you'd survive because there's, like, your accuracy is horrible. Imagine if you had the Cold War game engine.
That's what I was just going to say is that's my one nit, and it's not just for this game. I think it's for a lot of them. Why can they not be as sophisticated and have that type of weapons engine for this? To me, that would put it like over the top.
Well, I wonder if they're trying to add a level of realism. I mean,
maybe, but
because Call of Duty, really think about it, when you play multiplayer with Call of Duty with all the aim assist and all of the attachments you do to your weapon that improves your accuracy and all that, it almost gets a little unrealistic. Because if you think about it, yes, recoil definitely has an effect on your gun, but that should be one of the only few things that affects how good you are at a weapon. But in this game, I haven't had a scoped weapon yet. I've had to rely on my binoculars to target the bad guys and then go back to my rifle from there. But I initially, like when I told you when I first started playing Jason, the opening scene where you're chasing through with the truck, I died like 3 times because I couldn't shoot these guys to save my life. Pistol. But I had to kind of slow down and stop playing like I was playing Call of Duty and take the time to aim and take the time to, and then I got better at it.
You have to use the med kit. Like you have to,
Yeah. That's the other thing I do like about it though, is that it's not like Call of Duty where if I just hide for 5 seconds, my health is back to 100%. Now there's a hardcore version of Call of Duty that your health does not regenerate. But the typical that most everybody plays is the normal version where your health will replenish. This game does not. If you've taken shots, you're going to be hurt until you find a med kit or you use your med kit that you have with you. But I really enjoy it, and I'm eager for Stuart to get past the island portion, the tutorial portion, so that we can play together and have him see. Because we did play a game a while back. I can't remember the name of it, but it was the four of us were playing it, where we were running around the woods and shooting robots, I think it was. And I think Stuart started getting into it, and I think
that was Ghost Recon. Maybe.
No.
This was recently.
I can't remember what it was called. Generation something. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I remember.
But I'm eager, Stuart, for you to get past this part so you can do the co-op stuff and play together, because I think you will have the same giddiness that Jason and I had when we played together for the first time today. It was just a load of fun.
Yeah, I will. I mean, I think I don't like linear / the sort of the long gameplay, and that's where it is right now. And that's the way the Halo one was until we got in the big world. When we got in the big world, everybody got excited, and then we lost our interest. So I'm hoping,
once you get past that, it's much better.
I do think the story is a little bit tripey, and I think the new Far Cry 6 is sort of a similar tripey one. I think Cuban says something else. I like the premise. I think so I hate being taken out of things. Like, okay, if I knew I was going to a compound full of armed people, would I land a helicopter right in it? No, probably not. Right. but having said that,
it's funny because
I'll get off the island.
You're the rookie, right? So you've been put into this impossible situation. You didn't have a choice. You were following orders. It wasn't the right decision. Yeah. And if you had a choice, you would say, no, let's not do this. But you didn't have a choice.
So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see what happens. We don't hate it as much as Jason's implied we do. So.
But there are things you don't like right now. But I think once you get past it, I think you'll enjoy it better.
It's the cutscenes are just too long.
They are horribly.
I'd like to be able to skip them. Why can't I skip them?
Yeah, you should be able
to skip them.
Agreed.
I think
it's America. Canadians need to give me the ability to skip my cutscenes.
Oh my gosh. One other quick recommend.
Is that an American thing?
In America, we can skip speech. That's a rule. It's
free speech
1A.
and skip speech.
It's 1A. It's 1A.
We're going to a different podcast.
1A. Oh, there's a right for free speech, and there's a right for me to walk away from your free speech.
I have one quick
it's a free
recommendation.
Game, so.
It's Matchpoint. It just came out to Game Pass the other day. It's the most accurate tennis game that I've ever played. Go check it out. It's only 2-player multiplayer online, so we could play singles. We couldn't play doubles, but it's really damn accurate.
Is it simulation though? I mean, or does it play like an arcade?
No, it plays like an arcade. You jump right in.
Okay.
Like it starts the match and you're off to the races and you pick it up.
Can I play with my hurt arm? Can I?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But check it out. It's fun. It's Josh. I could see you really like it with your love of any sort of sports games.
This is good timing too. With Willadin.
I just watched I'm watching the trailer and it has Curios.
Yeah, it's fun. So what are we going to play tonight? We're going to play those 2 fun arcade games.
Overcooked, Fall Guys.
I'm going to Thor, so it'll be later.
Yeah,
we do need
Thor.
Thor is fun.
I think we should, in public, discuss the expansion of our podcast to cover more than just gaming.
Sure. Yeah, I'm fine.
So I think one of the things I put in the note. So obviously Josh is going to Thor, Love and Thunder, and Jason's already been to see it, and my son's already been to see it. So I think there's new movies, but I also think that as old guys who play games, we should make recommendations on must-watch old movies that kids there should watch forever. And we should each come up sort of like every episode, maybe come up with one and why. A short synopsis, but why it's one of those movies you have to put on your
I love it.
must-watch.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
That's a great one.
Jason, go watch Batman. You're the only one that hadn't seen it.
No, the Batman.
Still?
I've not seen it. No, I've not seen it. I'll go watch it.
Go watch it. We can talk about it the next time.
You got to watch it over here. I'm serious. You got to watch it.
That one in the Dolby was.
Yeah,
are you going to watch see Thor in Dolby?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, I can't wait.
I mean, we
GNR,
don't
baby,
go to
GNR.
anything else but Dolby. I did see Top Gun in Dolby. That was good.
I don't think I was able to. Did I see Top Gun?
Well, we all saw Top Gun, didn't we?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Well, I
2
talked
credits.
about that. I didn't know if I didn't know if I was going to be able to enjoy it. I don't know if I'm going to be. I don't know.
I
I'm
think
just
you would.
excited
You should take the family. It's a fun family romp, as Josh.
It is.
No, well, that's Ken. Ken
Delightful.
delightful.
Why
not?
Josh,
I
stay.
cannot take credit for that.
Stay for 2 full credits.
Jason, I'm going with my daughter.
He's not a
She
Marvel
is a
rookie,
Marvel
for
freak.
goodness sakes. It's not like he's
mean,
never been to one before.
Even if I wanted to, I couldn't.
I saw the first credit, and then I look over at my brother-in-law, and I'm like, I said, oh, yeah, it's still filled with all these dorks. There's got to be one more.
Well, you just Google it. Just Google it when it's over, and
Yeah,
it says,
just
"Oh yeah, there's 2."
Look for
scenes."
the stingers. See if there's any stingers.
The dorks rule the world now. You understand that?
That's true. All right, and on that note, on that pleasant note,
Dorks rule the world.
we are old guys playing games. I'm Ken.
I'm Jason.
I'm Stu.
Josh.
Damn it.
Wow.
Okay, I don't understand. What
Who's
is the
that?
rule?
Alphabetical.
Who's after
If
K?
he starts it,
Okay, that's fine. So whoever starts
who's
is
after
out
K?
of the alphabetical order,
Oh,
and
Stu
alphabetical
is.
after that.
Jason
That's why I don't
ruined the whole
understand.
thing.
That's why I
Jason
don't
ruined the
understand.
whole thing to begin with.
Well, no, I thought it was the person who was hosting goes first, and then it goes alphabetical.
yeah,
Correct.
so I
Alphabetical
screwed up. I
after
screwed
that
up.
person.
Which wouldn't have been
K,
me. But I didn't have a
S.
chance because Jason jumped out of the Jeep as always, and I didn't
was
have a
thinking-
chance.
Oh, I was thinking like from the beginning. Oh, this is ridiculous that we cannot do this right.
Ever.
This is true.
It's-
This is true.
It's like
We
It's
are
a thing.
all
Pathetic,
we are
guys.
all
It's the signature.
old guys, old guys that can't seem to figure this out.
blue blockers.
All right, here we go again. This is old guys playing games. I'm Ken.
I'm Stu.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Josh.
Awesome. Old guys playing.
See you guys next time.